facing the police every single day.
Hey, Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and today's pitch is Florida court said it's fine to teach your kids to be gay, communists, and cut their penis off.
How you been?
Not too bad. Why? Did I meet you before?
Yes, I first met you at the park up the street.
Okay.
The park, and you were holding a sign about the police.
Yep.
I don't know, but it was my first time being in Punta Gorda, and you were like, we were driving a Mercedes, and
I do remember that.
You were like, if the cops saw you, they would pull you over.
Yes.
Because of the way he looks like mixed.
Correct.
Yes. Well, anyways, you know, I see you every time. Not every time, but like every once in a while, you know.
Correct.
So, somebody just walked by, actually, so I had a question. They were like, why are you supporting Nazis? Well, because they see Hitler on here. So, what are you trying to say with this little sign, or big sign?
Okay, yes, it is a big sign, 4 foot by 6 foot. So what I'm trying to say is our schools here are sadly teaching kids to be gay, communists, and to chop their penis off, chop their boobs off, which I'm 59. They didn't teach me that when I was in school. Did they teach you that in school?
Nope.
Okay, and I believe that's insane. They should just teach you to be, you know, if you want a gay communist, that should be up to the parents, not the school, okay? Mm-hmm. I believe if the school just does their job, teaches capitalism, just, you know, be straight, then guess what? America is way, way better. But now that they're teaching all this crap, the world, America is fucked up, man.
Is it, what's up with Florida and them saying, like, you can't say gay in school?
Okay, so that's why I'm out here. So the court just ruled that, yes, that the schools can teach kids to be gay, communists, and chop their penis off. Which, that's messed up, man.
Well, if it's America, and you're, like, you have freedom and you can do what you want.
But the government's not supposed to teach that, the parents. So if the parent wants to teach a kid to chop their dick off, that's their job, not the school's job.
Yes. Yeah, because...
You want the school teaching your friends to be stupid?
No.
Thank you. That's the answer.
So what should they be teaching them that we should ask them to teach that they're not teaching them?
Like I said, the basics, man. How to spell, how to write.
They're not teaching cursive in school anymore.
That's another one. There's a ton of stuff they're not teaching. What they're teaching is all this shit right here, that capitalism sucks, which is bullshit. That's what made America great. Okay, that's what's bringing more people out of boredom in all these other countries.
Why is there so much poverty in America? Or why is Miami one of the most poverty
capitalism
places?
does suck.
I love capitalism, so it's good to see you, man. Nice bike, man.
Do you really love capitalism, or do you just have a business and you like your business?
Oh, I love my business.
It's not the same thing.
Right. Okay, what was your question again?
Where do you stand on Israel and Palestine? That's my question.
Israel and Palestine, I believe they were attacked and they have every right to defend themselves, man. This is insane.
Very good.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Well, I don't stand nor here nor there, but do you feel like killing, because the state of Palestine or Gaza is really mostly children.
Right.
So should the children suffer for that?
Israel is actually the only country ever to try to, with speakers and flyers dropped saying, please leave the area, we're going to bomb the shit out of you, which I think that's great, man.
And then when they told them to move to the spot to go to, then they bombed that same spot?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe
I don't believe it. Like, that's just like when they said the Israelis killed a bunch of people when the food truck came in. They actually already have videos showing it was one of the Hamas that had a gun and they were shooting people. Because Hamas is stealing the supplies and selling it back to the poor people.
They're calling them Hamas, but they're really more like a Muslim movement.
Hamas has been in power since 2006. The Palestinians elected Hamas to be their government. Not government, but their leadership.
Correct. And yes, now Israel's trying to kill Hamas.
So what do you think the city of Punta Gorda would feel like if people were starting, like, support for Palestine, for support for Gaza? How would they feel, do you think?
That would be interesting. And they hate free speech here, so it would be very interesting. I think it would be 50% against.
Right, but they would they make you, like, also, another question.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of homeless people in Punta Gorda.
Right. Oh, they're here. They're here. They're
Where
here.
are they?
Oh, I forgot. I didn't answer that question. Why do you think there's so many homeless in America?
Yes.
So check this out. Just like you heard me telling him, get the book, 3 Felonies a Day.
Yeah.
Everything's illegal. Even you both are violating the law right now. So they've made everything so illegal that they keep jailing people and keep them in there long enough to where they come out literally penniless, homeless, and then they have no programs for them after that. That is who's making homeless people, is our cops, sheriffs, the courts, the jails. It's insane.
So in Atlanta, they're building a cop city. What's up with that?
I think it's insane. They want a military police state. That's not what our founding fathers fought for.
No. And so they're trying everything to stop that from happening.
That's
because
correct.
They are building on top of a park, like a really nice big park.
Right.
And they want to build a cop city. And, well, as you know, Atlanta is a majority, like...
Of black people. Correct.
Yes.
That is
They
correct.
killed an
Yeah.
indigenous forest
Well,
defender.
yeah, as she-
bullets or something like that.
Yeah, see, they want to enslave them again. But what's sad is we never got out of slavery, so...
That is true.
Yeah, yeah. 13th Amendment was bullshit. They put them right back into slavery by charging them with crimes, making...
Leasing.
That is correct.
The slogan was "One dies, get another."
There, right there. She's talked before, so yeah, she's... Actually, you guys might get along. I don't know.
Right, it's like, what's your
She's a
problem?
hardcore activist, man. Look at her shirt.
I love it,
Thank you.
actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know who the Urus are?
They see... Yes, I think so.
Yeah. The trial is September 3rd. It's like if the Uhuru loses, then that's the end of free speech. It's like in the U.S. So,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you do know what the Urus are?
I believe
It's
so.
it's a black movement. I guess you got to explain it more who they are.
It's a black socialist for black liberation.
Correct.
And then
They were all raided across America at the same time.
at the same time, yeah.
Yep.
The Uhuru House in St. Petersburg, which is basically
Tampa.
a community center.
Yeah.
And then in North St. Louis, it's like the other Uhuru House was raided, and then the house, it's like of the chairman, who's the leader of the movement, and then and even they went into the white community and raided there because of the Solidarity Center, and then because there's thousands of white people who are saying it's like that white people owe reparations to black people, not because of not just because of slavery, but because of the like gentrification of like all of the issues that the black community faces today, and then because white people tend to blame black people for black people's problems, but it's like black people wouldn't be in the problem because of the unless say of the colonialism.
What's your opinion of reparations, by the way?
I think yes, absolutely. We should definitely do it because
But there's no slaves left from that time, though.
We are on stolen land, just like the Gaza.
Well, then we
people
should
are on stolen land.
we should pay back the Indians,
We
right?
should, yes, and
Right?
everybody should not be paying rent. We should all live in our houses.
So we should
without
all go
paying
back to
rent.
our country we originated from.
No, you can stay here.
But you just got to pay reparations.
No, you gotta. We all pay the reparations, and
Right.
then after that, we can all live free.
Okay.
It is a little bit more to get into because this is something that someone has just told me, and it's just like, you know what? It's right. Like,
Right.
Our corporations, they're trying to kill the planet, and
Right.
we won't have a planet to live on.
Oh, you guys will get along, man.
We don't
You
have
need
to
to exchange
planet.
cards, man. Right?
Wait, are you
do you have a-
pro-Palestinian or?
I am
You're
pro-Palestinian.
pro-Palestinian, okay.
What's
yeah,
your Instagram? Do you have an
No,
Instagram?
I don't do Instagram.
Do you have an email?
Hang on. It's like
Hold on.
It's like before we exchange contact information.
Yes.
I am in Impedum. It's like International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. Is it all right if I give them your contact info?
Sure.
It's all right. Okay, cool. And then Great. I'm sorry. I have to ask them
That's okay.
questions. It's like, what's your position on Russia-Ukraine?
Neither.
Neither. You're neutral. Okay.
Yes.
What's your position on Venezuela?
It's not good. I don't know.
What's causing the problems in Venezuela?
I think it's the problem is the U.S. dollar bill.
Yes, there we go. Okay,
Yes.
so you are pro Maduro.
Yes.
All right, pro Chavista. All right, great. And what's your position on Iran?
I love Iran.
What's your position on China?
Neutral. I love China.
Okay, you love China. All right.
I mean, to a certain extent.
Right. Yes, of course. It's like because they're doing things in the Congo too. So,
Right.
Yeah. What's your position on Congo?
Free Congo.
Free Congo. What's your position on Sudan?
Free Sudan.
Free Sudan. Okay.
Yes.
And then see, I'm running out of areas. Regions.
What about Free America? We're an illegal police state.
No.
Free America too.
Yeah, let's Free America.
Well,
This is an illegal police state, man. This is sad.
Yeah.
What's your position on them teaching kids to chop their penis off?
It's not cool because kids are really young and their
That's
brain is-
right.
their brain is
It's
really
still
moldable.
developing.
Honestly, you're not an adult until you're like 25,
Yeah.
30.
There's an obsession with genitalia. It's like
It is.
you don't
It is
need to
very,
know-
very sad.
It's like you don't need to know. It's like that. What my genitalia is. It's like it's.
It's
so,
none
yeah,
of our
yeah,
business.
no,
It's
and I don't need to know yours. No, I need to-
Right.
Yeah. It's just,
So you agree teaching kids to chop their penis off is stupid?
I think.
it is like you at least have to wait until like you're a grown adult to
Right.
make your own decisions. Or
Right.
if you want to know, then you have to teach them everything that it is. Like once you chop your penis off, there's no going back.
I know. No more penis.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
Or
I
if
think-
it's just
Or the same thing with the boobs. They're teaching chop the boobs off, right?
I think.
But you can get fake boobs.
Right, but I mean, as an adult, if that's what you want to do, then you can do that because everybody has a right to be whoever they want to be.
Why would they teach kids to do that then? What do you think is going on?
They want to.
Yes, please.
They want to define. It's like what makes a perfect woman or man. And
Right.
It's like, and then because you see, first of all, transgender people are very common. You'll see a lot of them walking around, and you won't even know. It's like, but then they're saying it's like, you have to have your genitalia a certain way.
Right.
It's like in order to be accepted as a woman or man. It's like, and then so they'll do it because they want that acceptance. But
Right.
then sometimes they regret it because it's a permanent decision. It's
That's
like,
right.
But they don't need to do that in order to feel it's like
Preach your brother. Thank you, man.
like a woman or man. It's like whatever their gender.
Do you think the transgender should be in women's sports?
Well,
Or that's not fair?
It's really interesting. Should women be in well, what kind of sports?
Right? Any sports. You know, men have way more muscle than women. That's why we used to have separate sports.
What about XY women like Caster Semenya?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
She
because
was-
there are people that are born with both genders.
Right.
It does happen. So where do
She's-
you put them?
Okay, I'll have to get back to you. I did not know about that one.
Female at birth. She
That's
has a lot of
rare.
Testosterone.
It is rare.
It
but
is
does
rare.
happen a lot more.
It's rare.
Not there- not
It's
there.
rare.
How many humans are on the planet?
What is it? 4 billion, 8 billion? Which one?
8 billion, I think.
8
Okay, there you
billion.
go.
Wow, 8 billion.
So did you hear that's why they want another World War III is so they can call the population because there's too many people.
Yes,
What do you think?
I think absolutely.
To make it fair, should we just kill just the white people and then we'll be all set?
No,
No.
no.
We shouldn't kill anyone at all.
Yeah.
Right. But they want to kill people though, right? To get the population down.
The people who aren't, like, mostly in third world countries, like, could you imagine living in the Congos?
Right.
It's terrible. It's a terrible situation.
Is there anything? What's your nationality?
I'm Mexican.
Okay, there you go. All right, there you go.
I'm Mexican and I was born in Mexico.
I support
right.
Mexican liberation, by the
Yes.
way. Yeah.
And
Do you support legal immigration or illegal immigration?
I support both.
Right.
Because when the white man came to America,
Right.
he didn't do it legally. He kind of just came here and pillaged.
Yeah, it was war. Yeah. Well, in war, when you win, you
I
win.
think that's what America is afraid of.
Right.
They're afraid
Yes.
that the immigrants are going to do the same thing that
Yeah,
the
you're
white
right.
people did to the Native Americans, and that's why they get so upset about it. And
So
they're-
can we invade Mexico again? Would that be fair?
why would you want to
Absolutely not.
invade Mexico?
Well, because we're being invaded, so why can't we invade over there?
Invading them.
Right.
They already invaded them in Venezuela, Nicaragua,
The
Salvador,
United
Honduras,
States
Peru.
invaded Mexico in the 1860s. and then stole half of Mexico.
Yeah, we got
So that-
Texas out of that. What, we got a
Texas,
couple countries.
California, yeah.
Or states, excuse me.
I can't speak my native ancestors' language
Right.
because I
Right.
speak Spanish, and
Right.
I don't like speaking Spanish.
Right.
Exactly, because it's a European language.
Yes.
Right.
And it's just really weird.
Right.
And it's not fair that these languages from old European places get saved, but Native American languages
Right.
and Native Mexican languages, they all get erased.
Would
Right.
you have liked to be thrown into the mine to collect silver for the Spanish king?
Well, how about this one? Do you know that they're using kids right now in mines to dig up the minerals for the batteries? Did you see the pictures of that?
Yes.
I think we did discuss that
We
last
did
time.
discuss
Yeah, it's
it.
unbelievable, man.
It's,
Very, very
doing them
sad.
For cars, computers, anything. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
electro trash, like trash from
Right.
phones, batteries, cars,
Right.
everything. Even cigarettes, like the electric cigarettes, they all come from those minerals. And
Should we all go back to just being like Amish and live the simple life?
I think so. All
right.
It wouldn't be so bad.
Not
Right.
necessarily. The main issue is to overturn colonialism, and then
Yes.
we can decide for that from that there. It's like, but then so that means it's like everyone. It's like all the indigenous people, all the African people have to control their own resources.
Right.
And then it's
Well-
like, and then maybe
And they
can
don't.
set
China's
up-
buying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Why can China buy American farmland, but they don't want them with TikTok?
Right. TikTok.
Damn, there you go. That is totally true.
I'll tell you why.
Totally true. Why?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Yes, do you know why?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's because of
Yes, that is a great question. Absolutely.
TikTok is there's so many pro-Palestine.
That is why, yes. TikToks, hashtags, majority of them, like millions and millions,
Are pro-Palestine.
are pro-Palestine.
I did not know that.
And so the Israeli lobbyists are trying to get
America to ban
to
them.
ban TikTok, or if
Interesting.
they don't ban it, they have to let China let America buy TikTok,
Right.
and then they will
Buy
censor the
TikTok.
shit out of us.
Right.
Well, and what's worse, if you look into the bill, they want to control all social media in
Exactly.
America
It won't be
because
just-
they hate Twitter because
Yeah, they hate
Twitter's got
Twitter.
some of the best freaking truth going right now, man.
Twitter, it's like that's where I saw Tucker Carlson's interview with
Yes.
Russia?
with Russia.
Yeah, with Putin. That's correct.
Yes.
Did you hear they threatened to arrest him if he went to interview him?
Yeah, I think.
Unbelievable.
that's
And Ukraine sent a killer to kill him
Yeah,
for
yeah.
interviewing Putin.
That's crazy.
That is insane,
That's sad.
right?
Not
Very,
Tucker
very sad.
Carlson.
Right?
Well, I don't know. It's.
The world is very fucked up. Do you think we're on the precipice of World War III?
I don't want to say yes because war is an evil thing, and nobody
Correct.
should ever have to go through a war.
Correct.
But it seems like it. Everybody
Is divided.
Everyone's divided, and that's what they want. They want to divide us. They don't
That's
want
correct.
unity in us because they know if we're all united against that 1% or
We'll
whoever
take our
they
government
are,
back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so no, I don't want to believe that there's a war coming. But
I
they
don't-
do say that every other generation,
Right.
they get soft, and then when they get soft,
Now
times
they're
get
going
hard.
too hard. Now they're going far to the right. That's
Yeah.
correct. That is
And-
true.
And it's just it's interesting. I mean, it's hard to talk about things with these people in Punta Gorda.
Right.
Yes, because
They don't want to.
There's a lot of fascists here,
Yes.
but there are communists here too, though.
I'm not
Absolutely.
communist.
Right? Oh, I'm just saying. I didn't point. Come on.
You put your hand over.
I like. They're out there. I didn't say you.
Okay.
So, anyways, yes. So yes, you need to hook up because yes, she is totally connected. Yep.
Shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'll get your. We can get her information.
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I also.
But she needs to get out here with the sign. You need to get out here with the. Did you know this is only $25 on Amazon?
Is it?
$25. Okay,
Yeah.
what sign would you do?
What sign would I do?
Free Mexico?
Well, it has to kind of, the people here, well, you know what? Homelessness.
What is it?
Homelessness.
homelessness.
Yeah, it is bad.
In
It is
Port
bad.
Charlotte,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are people living in this little, like, this really big open space that has concrete on it. It must have used a long time ago. Was supposed to be built for something, but
Right.
now there's people living in it.
Right.
Where's it at, by the way?
Okay, so El Jobin
El Jobin.
and Toledo.
No kidding.
El Jobin and Toledo.
I did not know that.
Big old block. When I first moved here, they were right next to the Coalition Center.
Right.
Do you know where that is?
Yes, I do. I
They
do.
were right there.
Right.
And then they moved over
Right.
to the other side.
Right.
So my question is, they're here, but we can't see them.
Right.
But the police know they're there.
Oh, yeah, so they harass them all the time, the sheriff and the police. You are correct. Did you hear they banned them from sleeping in the parks here in Punta Gorda?
Why would they do that?
Because they're assholes.
Because so that they're able to push them into, it's like El Jobin, because
Yes,
those are
that's
basically
correct.
informal displacement camps.
Correct.
And
That's
it
true.
actually happened in Oakland also. It's like that they were going to move them to a military base that was a former military base that had this nuclear radiation, and that this was in Oakland. And then the Uhuru movement stopped that from happening. And then so then they. So it's like basically everything's a concentration camp. It's just not named concentration camp.
Damn, keeping it real.
And
Keeping
the
it
prisons
real.
It's like obviously the detention camps are the Indian reservations.
Correct.
And
What about the camps for the Japanese, World War II?
Yeah, those were official internment camps.
Correct.
Those are the name of internment camps.
Correct.
And then, but then the ones that are today, it's like they don't necessarily have the name of internment camps, because then people will be like, oh, okay, they're being oppressed. This is a system of oppression, rather than it's like, oh, they're criminals, so they have to be in prison or something.
Right.
And then but that's the thing. It's like in the it's like we were also considered criminals. And then I know it's like I don't know what they were called. In Mexico, it's like when the Americans, because the Americans called us ladrones, so we were bandits. And then even though it's like, well, we just wanted to have control of our own land and resources.
Yes.
And then so I don't know what the Americans called you.
Well, there's a lot of them. I don't know if I should say them.
Right. Yeah.
But we're all human. We're all
Correct.
in the same inside. We all want the same thing. We all want to live happy, make a lot of money.
Right.
We want food. We want clean water.
Right, exactly.
Why can't we do the same for everybody else? Why do we have to pay for water?
I think so. Here's the answer to that. Again, like I said, get the book 3 Felonies a Day. They want to make everything illegal so they can charge you and enslave you again, yes or no, and ruin your life and make you homeless. If they keep you in jail long enough, you know, you're broke.
Oh yeah.
And it's so expensive to live
right
here.
now, baby.
See, there you go, baby. There you
No
go.
money. I'd stay in jail, honestly, if they put me in there. So that's,
Don't ask them. They would love to do that. Don't do that.
No,
Don't do that.
don't
They would love to do that.
Yeah, so it's really messed up, because like you could be having a bad day and they call the police and they don't know how to handle you.
That's right, and they jail you just so they
shoot
can.
you, or they'll put you in the
Or
back
tase
of the-
you, let the dog eat you,
Yeah.
beat you. Yep, very, very sad. Isn't that what fascists do?
That's what the colonizer does.
Okay, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, and then it's like the Uhuru movement gives a chance for white people to step off the pedestal of oppression or of being the oppressor, and then to pay reparations.
Nice.
And
Hey, you guys keep chatting. I got to get to lunch with the wife. So
course.
good to see you again. Good to meet. What's your name?
Carla.
Okay, yeah, like I said, if you get bored, look me up, Andrew Sheets, City of Punta Gorda on Google, and you'll see the absolute nightmare. This place hates freedom, man.
no, I saw the video of you being yelled at by the suburban mom, and then
See? See, just search it. You'll see it. This
I know,
place,
you're on my
this
Facebook.
place is a bunch of fucking fascist communists,
And
man.
then a big Officer Delgado, like.
Yes, she saw it. Very good. All right, man. You guys keep chatting. Good to see you.
Take care, man.
Yep. Florida court said it's fine for schools to teach your kids to gay communists and chop their penis off. Do you agree with that?
No,
Thank you. Thank you for being an American. I appreciate it.
that's why I homeschool.
There you go. Very, very good. Green light, man. Thank you for being American. Florida court said it's fine for schools to teach your kids to be gay communists and chop their penis off. Do you agree with that? Aren't you glad you still got your penis?
Wish I had the Bud Light with me right now.
Right?
I like the Bud Lights.
Isn't that insane they're teaching kids to chop their penis off?
I don't think they're teaching them anything.
Yeah, schools are indoctrination camp now. It's very, very sad. Yep.
Well, it's a matter of opinion.
Florida court said it's fine for schools to teach your kids to be gay communists and chop their penis off. Are you fine with that?
Not at all.
Very good. Thank you for being an American. I appreciate it.
I'm Canadian.
Huh?
I'm Canadian.
Oh, dude, if you say anything against your government, $20,000 fine and jailed for life. What the hell?
Correct. They just actually sued the government.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, are they going to win? Can you try to put him on a cross like they did Jesus and crucify him? Because that guy has lost his mind, man.
Which guy?
Trudeau.
Oh.
Do you think he's in bed with China?
He's not in bed with Soviet.
Yeah, he's not in bed with you guys. He's trying to take your guns, trying to kill free speech. It's insane.
Love it.
Very, very sad.
All right.
Are you going to go back? I mean, this is like scary shit, right?
It's concerning.
It is. Okay, what are you going to ask?
What? I'm just going to turn this off now because I was so impressed.
Right. But
what's the connection?
okay, yeah. So DeSantis.
Like I know the story of that, and I know the story of that, and I'm pretty fucking intelligent, but I'm also Canadian, so I see a big like left and right down.
Right. Correct. So yeah, they were teaching.
And I'm on Let's Go Brandon.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Which
So
most people
yeah,
I talk
you're
to-
more in your right mind.
Most people I talk to don't even know what that means.
Yeah. There's a lot of communists here, man. Be
Right.
careful, man. They want to take your wallet, and give it to Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or digital, right? This
Yeah.
is-
Ooh,
this
very
is-
good.
this
You
is-
are on top of
oh
it.
God, I'm like,
All right.
I'm light years ahead of them.
Right. I heard Canada wants to do that too, so they can track all your
Yes.
shit, right?
Well, that's okay. So the emergency crackdown that we had
With the truckers, right? Yes, that was scary, man.
That was a test. If you look at it,
Ooh.
if you look at it, okay,
Right.
look at it on a global situation.
Right.
Okay, each of these countries. This is go back to COVID now.
Right.
Each of them played the same playbook.
Right.
Okay? So basically, everybody that spoke in each of these countries used
That's
the
correct.
same terms and the same new phrases.
That's
okay?
correct.
And if you look at that, and you start to see the patterns.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now look at the patterns.
Right.
Apply it to a different industry.
Right.
This industry isn't the drug industry. It's now the journalism industry.
That's
The
correct.
censorship. Well, the other one industry is banking or finance.
That's correct.
All three are weapons of war.
Ooh, they are. That is
Right.
true. Very, very true.
Okay, so the war that everyone's talking about has been going on,
Right.
and I believe myself that I've just lived through 3 years of war.
Right.
Right. So if you talk to people that lived through World War II and they tell you what their experiences were like,
Right.
it's very similar to
It is. It is.
Right.
It is. Well, look at what they're saying about the Jews now, right here
Well, that's-
in America
But that's
and around
okay.
the world.
Okay, so that's just a progression of the division.
Correct. Yes, divide and conquer. Absolutely.
Rock or soul. My argument to everybody is like, I like to listen to jazz,
Right. Right.
but I do like country.
Right.
And I don't hate anybody who doesn't like, symphonies or whatever. So if you now go out and start listening to those different genres,
Right.
it's a whole different world. Just as if you go and experience these people's genres.
Right.
What the problem is with these people,
Right.
and pick your category,
Right.
is that they want to expound their rights onto everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a slap. From
It's
left to
indoctrination
right.
propaganda, man. It's
But you don't have
unbelievable.
to buy it.
Right.
But what gets me is that everybody's like into it for the vote or something. I don't even know why they're doing it.
Right.
But okay, my background is retail and advertising,
Right.
and so
Do I have a good advertisement sign?
yeah, provocative and,
Okay.
and thought-provoking.
That's correct.
A little too divisive.
Right.
Okay.
But it's better than a gun.
Well, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
I in Canada and here, I'm just looking for somebody that speaks some form of common sense and logic.
Right.
The closest I could come to here would be Robert Kennedy
Right.
Jr. In
Right.
Canada, was a character called Poliver, who was the leader of our opposition.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Okay, look him up, Poliver.
Okay.
He's the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada.
Right.
He's probably going to win the next election and become the Canadian.
So people are finally
Prime Minister.
pissed.
Oh yeah, well the people were pissed in the trucker time.
Yeah, the trucker was
what
so
the
bad.
trucker time thing was like this, and I'd never experienced anything like this, and it literally had stirred my soul. Was not part of it. Was
Right.
not like literally. My story is like kind of convoluted, but we're in Canada. We're under quarantine, and
Right.
basically our situation is we were like in a concentration camp.
Whoa!
Okay, here's the scenario. We're in a motorhome.
Right.
We travel. We went back to Canada because we had to. Got into the border like 16 minutes before they closed it. And then we literally could not go anywhere. We did not have...
Oh, I remember that.
Right, okay, so this is
Damn.
real. We had to find a place to stay. We found a place which is a campground.
Right.
But it had a thing. So our kids came to bring us supplies.
No.
And they wouldn't let them in.
Dude.
We had to meet them like over the gate.
That's
And
insane.
then they yellow taped the playground.
That's insane.
And that's when I was like going, this is fucked up, man. This
It is,
something really
it
bad.
is, it
And
is.
then it escalated. And then one day we're driving. Okay,
Right.
this is a bizarre scene.
Right.
I've heard about the trucker thing, but I'm driving.
Right.
Go over a major highway, like here would be your I-75
Right.
or 401.
Right.
I go to the 401 and there's like all these people on the bridge with Canadian flags. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And then it was like, oh, this must be that trucker convoy that's coming.
Oh, wow.
So, and as I'm there, it's like, oh wow, like you don't see any trucks, but there's this mass of people.
Right.
Because of where we were and how we had to travel, we saw that about 3 times that day.
Okay.
And we were like, wow, this is impressive. So we started doing some more research into
Right.
the groundswell of opposition to this draconian lockdown that they opposed
Right.
was massive. It came out of fucking nowhere.
No
Right,
kidding.
so all of these, like, if you figure what Canada is like in the middle of January,
Right.
all the truckers from all of these places came down to the capital and said, "Fuck it, we've had enough."
Right.
And we know people like on the ground and like who were physically there.
Right.
My family's background is law enforcement, so I know what that's all like.
Right.
And it's like, then they started having the news reports on it.
Right.
The news reports were nothing at all what was going on in the ground. And,
Wow.
and then one person, one afternoon, somewhere had a Nazi flag.
Oh,
The
whoops.
headlines in our CBC, which is our government, is like the Nazis are all truckers are Nazis.
Oh
which
my God.
I don't know this happens yet. I have people coming up to me and going like, "Oh, you support the truckers? Like they're trying to take over the government." I'm like, "Wait a minute. The playbook, if you look at it,
Right.
January 6th,
Right.
same thing.
It is.
Divide and
It
conquer.
is, correct.
All right, but it's
Correct.
divide and conquer on a political level now,
Right.
Which is another industry.
Right.
So if you start to see them in these lights,
Right.
prism yourself,
Right.
and if you want to appeal, if you want to look up quotes and stuff, Goebbels, I think it is, or no, it's Stalin, one of the communists, one of the communists, of all the weapons that he had access to
Right.
during World War II.
The microphone was the best. Yes.
Propaganda.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to sway people's mind. And the way to do it
Right.
is subtly. And this is where advertising comes in.
Right. Oh, yeah, they were experts.
Right? And
Yes.
so the advertising is going on all the time.
Yes.
And people like ask me a lot.
You mean
about,
advertising or propaganda indoctrination?
Well, it's all the same.
It
It's
is.
media.
Correct.
Whatever. It's
Correct.
It's just the nuance of it.
Right.
All right. So if you see somebody say something, depending on how you view it, it's either that's information. You'll notice all of
Right.
the legal shit that you have to sign off for privacy laws and all
Right.
this sort of stuff.
Right.
They're all about protecting your rights.
Right.
It's not. Everything is like literally protecting their rights.
Right.
And if you take the time and read this shit
Right.
and ask the right questions, you'll go, fuck, yeah. I clicked OK because I didn't read it.
Wow.
And the worst one would be the Windows, the original, any of them now, when they first came out, the Windows operating thing.
Yes.
Okay, if you clicked OK to that, you allowed Microsoft to have access to your data. And if anything that you installed that they didn't authorize that affected their program, it's on you.
Seriously? I did not know that one.
I know. This is what I mean. But if you
Wow.
then
They just did that Canada or worldwide?
no, that's everywhere. That's when you
That's
read
bad. That is bad.
96 pages or whatever of a license agreement. Like it's bizarre. Like
Yeah, and I did not click that, by the way. That's new, and I do know what
Yeah,
you're talking
when
about now.
When you install, that's
yes,
just one.
it's crazy.
But that's on basically every app that's
Correct.
That's there.
So they want to become like Google and
Well-
all that for data mining,
It's exactly what it is.
Yes,
now,
that's
my
correct.
son who works in that industry.
right?
This conversation has gone on over many years almost,
Right.
as to what. Okay, because I'm like, they already have all this data. Like,
Correct.
I don't
It's in a
understand-
desert here.
Right, but they don't have the legal authority to use it, and that's what they're doing.
Did you hear the loophole that they're doing in America?
with what?
They're getting it from the data brokers.
Oh yeah, well that because it's now third
It's
party.
insane.
And
Yes,
again,
yes.
that was the COVID thing.
I know.
We never had the argument in Canada is we never had a mandate.
Right.
Justin said that. It's like, what the fuck? You didn't
Right.
have a mandate? So
Right.
what? So all of my friends that are quote unquote unemployed because they didn't
Yes,
like,
exactly.
they're now suing. This is what I'm
Right.
saying about this lawsuit just went on. 19 million
And how many people died from the shot alone, man? You know, that's finally coming out.
yeah, that's a whole nother topic of conversation which would take more time than you and I have
Right.
life left.
Right.
That it's a game. Like to me, what that was just an excuse to crash the system. Okay, they
Ooh,
couldn't crash the
interesting.
system. And
Right.
again, if you think in terms of war, okay,
Right.
how you operate this on a a platform above, looking
Right.
at it,
Right.
It's like, okay, we're going into this war field.
Right.
And again, think in terms of war because that's what it fucking was.
Right.
Okay, casualties. How do we keep track
It is.
of it?
That's
It's
correct.
scorecard. You look at any documentary on Vietnam or World War II.
Right.
World War II was more about feet.
Right.
Vietnam, they changed it because there was no logistics for that metric.
Right.
What they changed it to was body count.
Right.
So in this attack, we lost 22 Americans, but we got 1,700. Yeah.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
And it's whatever side you're on, how you view it. And that's what's going on in Gaza right now.
Right.
It's like, well, they bombed and killed 6,000 children.
Right.
Oh, didn't they start this by going in at night and like
Yeah,
raiding a
burning
dance
and
party
raping. Yes, burning and raping. That's correct.
Where was the outrage about that? Like,
I don't get it either, man. It's a
And
mess.
it goes to this,
Right.
which I think there's like these forces at work which are trying to undermine,
Right.
or at least get some legislation passed,
Right.
that favors not this, because this is all the smoke and mirrors, the flash gun,
Right.
but gets at whatever the meat and potatoes is that they want to change.
Right.
Because when you start to look at these changes, they don't happen immediately.
Right.
It's like slow
Nudge,
motion.
nudge. Right.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, and like back in the day when newspapers were a thing, if you wanted to know what was really going on in the world, you didn't read the headlines.
Right.
You read like 12 pages back in, and you'd read some little story about some buck-tuck country
Right.
where there was an overthrow of some governor or something,
Right.
and America was now sending some, expeditionary forces to help them.
That's correct.
3 years later, you'd see that like this buck-tuck island that you didn't know anything about. Now we're committed with billions of dollars of aid, and you're like, what the fuck?
And we put our own person in.
Right.
Isn't it weird? Didn't we do that in Ukraine?
And when we do that everywhere,
Didn't we do it here?
right?
Yes.
So
right.
this is what I'm okay. As I say, I just want somebody that can. If I went to a politician, I would hope I could have a conversation like we're having,
Right.
without him having to go. Well, I don't know, but like there's some really good, down here, and they just deflect, no answer.
Right.
Like what?
Right.
It's bizarre to me, these characters, and
Right.
the bozos that you guys have right now is your top runners. Like this
It's
A or
really
B.
bad. Really, really
I
bad.
mean, I'm not. And what gets me is whenever we have conversations with rational people, and you
Right.
say what I've just said to you,
Right.
the other side, here you call it the left, I think, or
Correct.
Democrat,
Communist. Yeah, Biden communist. Correct.
They think I'm fucking out of my mind.
Right.
Right? They're like, you're a communist. Like,
Right.
They're like, what? I'm like, how does this work?
Right. It is sad. So did you hear what happened here? So DeSantis tried to say don't say gay. They took it to court, and then wow.
This is
Yeah, and then the court,
that bill had nothing about gayness in it.
Right. That is true too. That is true too.
That's just a game like this. Take a subject. If it fits, so you must acquit. Like what the fuck?
That's correct.
That's slogan. That's you got to see through that. You got to don't buy into this. This is a case of a company going after a niche market,
Right.
and somebody somewhere was offended by it, which now everybody's offended by it.
That's correct.
And then somebody is yell louder, and it becomes this mainstream thing. But if you follow this, and I understand how influencers work, before the internet, I've been involved in this shit. Okay, so around the boardroom table, which
Yes.
in this case would be the probably the marketing or advertising company of whatever the corporate brand of Bud is.
Right.
Anheuser, is it Anheuser?
Correct.
or
I do
whatever?
believe
But
so.
I believe they've been bought since by another corporation. Right. So there's all these levels of corporate people. So in this boardroom too, there's like, how do we got to get now this I know from real life experience with me.
Right.
When the game started in Toronto.
Whoa! Almost hit.
Yeah?
Holy
Wow.
shit! Insane. Okay, go on.
Anyway, so the LGBT was not a thing. Okay?
Right, correct. No, it
but
was
they
not.
had the gay parade.
Right.
Okay?
That's correct.
The brand I was working on, okay, I had my own advertising agency.
Right. Very good.
The brand I'm working on was Smirnoff. Okay?
Right.
So Smirnoff was the first alcohol beverage to sponsor the gay parade in Toronto.
Oh,
Hence,
wow.
I'm involved in.
So it's
all of
your
this.
fault.
No, nothing
All right,
to
I'm
do
just
with
kidding.
me.
I'm just kidding.
I just take pictures or
Right.
create campaigns.
Right.
And-
So did that help their sales when they
Yes.
did that? It did?
Yes.
You guys are stupid, but
No.
go ahead. No?
No, because you have to be inclusive, not
Right.
exclusive.
Right.
Right?
Interesting.
But you don't then promote it.
Right.
It's part of it.
Right.
Right? So instead of having a checklist of like what race or what ethnicity or what gender you are,
Right.
break it all down. We're all human. We're all
That is
deep on
true.
the
That is
inside.
true.
We all beat a fucking heart.
Right.
And when it gets down to it, you're going to care more about your family.
Right.
And then then it's yourself.
Right.
All of the rest of this is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Okay?
Got it.
So if you can get somebody that can convey that to
Right.
run one of your parties, and why are there only 2 down here?
It's stupid. I agree. Very,
Okay,
very
we got
stupid.
3, but what happened?
I know. And England's got it even
Right,
better.
But in
Man.
Canada, what has happened is the third party
Right.
has gone like, I'm going to cozy up with. So we have a coalition
Right.
of the NDP and the Liberal,
Right.
and so the quote unquote left, if you will, up there,
Right.
doesn't have enough votes because they're voted 2 to 3, like
Right.
2 to 1, like in a 3.
Yeah, and as you know, our parties are almost the same too now.
Well, this
so-
is it.
Right.
This is it.
Right.
Long story. I don't know if you ever heard about. This is a parable sort of thing, but the hardware stores. 2 hardware stores in an American city.
Yep.
Downtown compete. Like, okay,
Right.
They're vicious enemies.
Right.
Okay. So one day, the hardware store A has a sale on hammers, and like hammers
Right.
are like $1 a piece, and they fly out of the door.
Right.
Week after, the other guy like fuck you, and he sells out like nails for
Right.
$1 a bucket, fucking like crazy. And then
Right.
one day, the store's closed, and people are like, holy fuck, like we've lost all these great deals. Like what's going to go on? Like
Right.
I don't know. So place is abandoned and go in. What they find out is that they were joined at the back, and the 2 guys that own these were brothers. They lived together,
Oh my God.
and they collectively
Right.
made a fortune and then left town with it.
Oh my God. Wow.
The parable is the 2 parties,
Right.
and or the 2 brands.
Right.
Now, if you start thinking in terms of Coca-Cola or Pepsi,
Right.
it's the exact same, right?
Right.
And if you look at the corporate structure of all of this
Right.
on a map, you got like a handful of corporations that
That's
sit around
true.
and dictate it. So
Right.
when you have like a great
That are
product-
all they're all owned by the Jews, right?
well, I think that's a myth.
Right.
There's a proportion of them that are, but then there's
Right.
also a lot of white nationalists.
So
There's
is it the
also-
Jews that are causing all the problems?
I don't think so. I
Right.
think, and this conversation again,
Are you a Jew?
no,
Okay.
but I am related to.
Okay, there you go.
My grandchildren
Right.
are Jewish.
Why do they always blame the Jews? I don't get it.
That's an interesting question.
Right.
And I think it basically is let's just pick something that's going to offend everybody.
Oh,
'Cause what
there
if
you
were now
go.
to blame the blacks?
Oh, that's true. You can't do that.
Right.
Can't. That's
What if
racist.
what if you blame the Arabs?
Right.
Can't
I can't do that. That's
What about
racist.
The Muslims.
That- you can't do that. That's
it depends
racist.
on what time it is, what
That-
day it is,
that's
and where
correct.
we are.
That's correct.
Right.
Yep.
And the basis of all that is it's just a matter of where you are in time and space that really matters.
Right.
Because if you had this conversation somewhere else,
Right.
and the fact that you're allowed to even put this out here in Canada and Toronto, you would have been arrested by now. And what would have got you
Wow.
arrested would have been this.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you know you can hardly find this online now?
Yeah,
you
no,
can't even find
oh,
a Nazi flag
yeah,
online
tell
anymore.
me
It's,
about
it's
it.
really freaking hard. I don't support the Nazis, but I support free speech. You take
Yes.
away free speech, it
Yes.
affects everyone,
Right.
right? How long have you been here
Where?
in Punta Gorda?
On and off since December, I think.
Okay, okay.
I was down in Naples.
All right, you missed it. A couple years ago, they banned free speech here because I did the fuck
really?
fuck
See,
Biden
this is-
sign.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. They fined me, they ticketed me, and then because I won the lawsuit in state and federal, they arrested me for free speech on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
It
a
does
slippery-
not
it's a
feel like
slippery-
America anymore.
It's a slippery slope both ways. There's a reporter in Canada who just got arrested.
Wow.
There was a demonstration going on. This is the Bahamas.
Right.
And so they were out protesting, and so he was in the street talking to them, and they had a bit of a scuffle, if you will, but I didn't see the scuffle on the video,
Right.
where the police just kind of like came out of the bushes,
Right.
grabbed the reporter, arrested him, and took him away. Whoa. And it was like, wait a minute.
Did you see that's happening in England too?
Yeah, yeah.
Just because he was handing out
Yeah.
flyers.
Yeah.
Judas, very, very
Yeah,
bad,
it's
sad.
pretty strange to me that like there's
You gotta wait for them, dipshit. That guy's a fucking moron. One of those old farts from New York, right?
down here it's
I know. Yeah, is the traffic worse here than up there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, this is
There's people dying all the time. It's
Yeah.
very, very sad.
Yeah, I don't know where they get their license from.
I agree. Well, they keep the old people driving to make them happy so they can tax them. Do you know how much the taxes are for PGI?
No.
Punta Gorda Isles? 15 grand for a house, man.
Yeah.
That doesn't include your taxes, insurance, I mean, all that.
I got no point of reference on any of that.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I don't.
Right. That's true. You guys already tax up the ass anyway.
We are.
30%?
Well, depending on your bracket, like
Right.
what you're into. But yeah.
So you were up there, so you were
I'm
50%?
still up there, yeah. Here's the data on that is my son,
Yep.
for a length of time, worked in California.
Right.
When things were happening.
Right.
He's probably going to go back there.
I like your shirt.
I know. But he did the math because of health coverage for him.
Right.
Right. And so he got a lot more money, but he had to then take up private insurance.
Oh,
Whereas in
that's
Canada,
true.
You have the OHIP.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
taxes like give you more, if you will, in public services than what it does. But as he said, if I didn't have any claims, I'd be way ahead.
Interesting.
Right? So like if he had a minor doctor thing,
Right.
it's a couple $100.
Right.
Big accident, a couple $1,000.
Right.
Major, oh God,
Right.
200 grand or whatever.
Right.
Whereas in Canada, it's like doesn't cost you anything.
But it does.
It
You're
does,
getting
right,
taxed,
right.
man, all over the
Right.
place.
But okay, now here's where it becomes the substantial difference.
Right.
That's one agency, mother agency, if
Right.
you will, looking after it. Whereas in here, you've got how many fucking advertisements,
Right.
marketing campaigns for all of these Medicaid add-ons and
Right.
benefits and insurance companies
Right.
and programs. It's inundated down here. I'm like, and each one of those, because they bought ads, is making money.
But you know, too, dude, up there, they want to cut costs, so they want everybody to kill themselves. They're pushing euthanasia. I mean, if you're poor, they're saying you should just die.
That's an extreme point of view on that subject.
Right.
And I would say yes, but again, dial back and look
Right.
at it from a rational point
Okay,
of
here's a
view.
popo. See, this is a harassment right here.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes, this happened last night when I was out. Now they're here again.
Oh, yeah? They're coming
Yes.
for you?
I don't know.
Oh, do you want me to film you?
I
What you're
hope
getting?
they. We'll see here in a second. I'm wondering if they're going to claim that it's 150 feet from voting.
They will.
We have that.
Yeah, that.
But
they
again,
moved
this is
the
not
truck.
on the ballot.
They moved the truck.
Yeah, they moved everything away.
There was
Correct.
A PETA truck there earlier.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah, he wasn't aware that
But
he was-
again, this is nothing on the ballot,
I don't know what
right?
it is.
I would love to do free the weed because I heard that might be on the ballot. 'Cause God made it, man.
Well,
Come on.
see, that's a totally different thing in Canada.
Right.
It's totally legal over there.
Yes. Oh my God, you did something right. Is that weird?
Well, that's a Justin policy.
Right.
So that's why I say that you can't just take a paintbrush and tar and feather, because like everything changes, everything's fluctuating.
Right.
But when people make decisions on certain subjects and then they come back and give you bullshit about it,
Right.
that's the bad stuff.
Right.
And then the bullshit just starts to pile up and pile up. There's so many things with Justin legally.
Oh, dude, so fucked up. Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God,
there's
it's
a
so
lot
bad.
of weird stuff, and people, it's like anybody. You get tired of it. I mean,
Right.
Are you tired of Beyonce?
Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
tired of YouTube?
They did say one good thing that
No.
capitalism has brought more people out of third worldism
Right.
than anything else,
Right.
and that's
See,
true.
and that-
if you give them the fish,
Right.
they don't care.
Right, but
If
when
you
you start-
make them fish, they care.
Right, but
Yes.
when you start looking at like euphemisms like that,
Right.
it's like, yeah, that's true, but this is also true.
Right.
Right? And people don't even have that thought anymore. It's
Right.
just like, oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, I'm against it.
Right.
So again, I see a lot of that on this side.
Right.
Because I'm firmly I'm not in the middle. I'm floating.
Okay,
Like,
there
I've
you
already
go.
passed away and I've come back.
Right.
Like I'm a ghost from the.
Right.
I have reference points nobody knows about. Like,
Ooh, there you go.
walking home as a school kid after Kennedy was been shot.
Right.
To my dad, who's a policeman.
Right.
And just watching Oswald be gunned down on TV, like
Right.
that sort of shit.
Right.
And then realizing, at that time frame that it wasn't necessarily real.
Right.
Because of my dad's comments and stuff like this, and him shooting shit in front of me, and
Right.
it's just bizarre. But once you have those as bench posts, you kind of go
How young are you?
I am 70.
Okay, I'm 59.
Yeah.
I remember what freedom was like. Do you agree that America and Canada are becoming like an illegal military police state, where everything's illegal?
What I see is that everything has to be regulated through financial means.
Right.
The basic system that was set up, particularly in America,
Right.
and I try to explain this to a lot of people, how the difference between Canada and America is,
Right.
and why if you do something against an American, it has a different repercussion in Canada.
Right.
But the basic setup was that here's capitalism,
Yep.
and the kind of the game token in it is this dollar.
Yep.
Okay, and it was something that was printed and you couldn't reproduce it.
Right.
Much like a gold, but it's on paper.
Right.
So it's
Well, there are countries that do reproduce it.
right. But,
North Korea.
Right. But the idea being that there's this piece of paper, this bond, right? Where
Right.
it used to be the bond between the people.
Yes.
So that's now been separated and now becomes a thing.
Right.
And then that gets accelerated, and you don't, when you buy stock, for example,
Right.
technically you're not buying part of that company.
Right.
You're buying the right from this company that owns some of the stock to buy it from them.
Right.
Right? So it's a removed transaction.
Right.
And then when you do that in a large bulk, you start to have this large movement of shit.
Right.
And it's you then have oh, there's that guy again that was just about got killed.
That's dude. I used to be a kid, but Jesus, they did it the other day when I was out here. They almost they're gonna act like they hit your stuff, but then they move away. But what if they don't move away? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I'll show you the aftermath.
Which one?
That one.
Why? What do you got? Okay, what was that?
That was a biker.
Oh, damn, where was that?
That was on Tamiami Trail.
Oh, yeah, it's happening all the time, man.
And
Bicycles, people walking,
He was
motorcycles.
just motoring down.
Right.
Wobble, 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 lost control, bang, cracked his head open on the thing.
Oh,
Mike was there just as they lifted him up and took him in. Okay.
Right.
And then one of the people that was standing there would go I'm like, how is he? Who's taking care of his stuff?
Right.
And the lady turns to me, she goes, I hope he's going to be okay, because he just apparently had back surgery. So